I am a hypocrite. I honestly am. I'm up here giving a speech about how you shouldn't overcommit when I do it almost all the time. I thought that perhaps giving this speech would force me to take a step back because, hey, I can't be a hypocrite if I'm giving a speech about it, right? Well, that's where you would be wrong. When I started at community college, I was determined that I would only take 4 classes and participate in maybe 1 club. What did I do? I ended up at one point taking 6 classes, being president of 4 different clubs, and preparing for 3 academic conferences. So then I thought, okay, well, I'll make a change whenever I transfer to a university. Again, I was very wrong. After transferring, I am now taking 5 classes and still in 4 different student organizations, and I'm part of 2 leadership programs. I have a problem, I know, but let's leave that one for my therapist. And instead, let me share with you today a method that I've discovered for being able to manage your time and health just right. If you've ever heard of hustle culture, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hustle culture is defined as the societal standard that you can only succeed by exerting yourself at max capacity every single day. Just think about that. Every single day, giving 110% of your effort for 60, 70, 80-hour work weeks, all because you feel like you need to. I don't know about you, but that already sounds like a health hazard to me. The Harvard Medical Review even conducted a study that showed that those who work more than 55 hours per week had a 13% greater chance of having a heart attack and 33% more likely to suffer from a stroke. A health hazard? Absolutely. But then why do we still do it? And why do we still promote it? I think it stems from the way we were raised in school. Personally, growing up wasn't as challenging as you might think. In kindergarten, I was identified as gifted and talented, and how you identify that in a 6-year-old is still beyond me. But nonetheless, they put me in advanced classes all the way through intermediate school. I was constantly surrounded by kids who were striving to do their best and achieve great things. But anything less than an A for them was horrendous and even worse news for their parents. But my parents didn't care so much. I mean, they cared, but they were just proud that I was in the class to begin with. I was the one that put the pressure on myself from an extremely young age. And up until a certain point, I was pretty natural at it. But then I was faced with pre-AP high school geography. And oh boy, did things take a turn for the worse. I was surrounded by students that I didn't know very well, and on top of that, having social anxiety absolutely did not help. And up until then, I had never before felt the need to talk to my peers about homework or getting help with any assignments because, again, everything had come so naturally. So when I started seeing B's and C's on my report card, I thought I was turning stupid. I was used to all my friends complaining when they got so much as a 90 on their test that when I was over here making 70s, I thought I was a failure. This eventually led to my rock bottom moment freshman year of high school. I developed a form of OCD called trichotillomania. This is defined as the compulsive desire to pull one's hair out. My mom actually only found out about this because one day she walked into my room to just see what I wanted from the grocery store, to discover that I was having a full-blown panic attack in the corner of my room from the fear of what I was doing to myself. I was missing patches of my eyebrows, my eyelashes, my hairline was slowly receding, and the few friends that I had started to notice. So we decided to try and get some help for me. And that form came in the form of medicine to try and reduce my stress levels so that I wouldn't continue to pick my hair out because of all the stress that I was enduring. But if you know anything about medicine, you know that there's always that 1% chance that something bad can happen. There's that 1% chance that you might have a stroke, you may experience instant death. I was that 1% where it happened to cause seizures. And these seizures led to me having to drop out of the second semester of my freshman year of high school. If that does not sound fun, I can confirm it was not. But the ambulance ride was pretty cool, I must say. I'm not here to tell you all some depressing story, though. I'm here to tell you that this actually defined who I am today. Or more specifically, it defined my eyebrows because now I have to draw them on since they won't grow back. But again, not my point. My point is that I was able to learn from this experience. I was able to learn that what I was doing wasn't working for me and that I needed to readjust my life. So I decided to take a step back, not focus on homework as much, and instead what I did was I genuinely enjoyed the time that I spent with my friends and my family and with myself. It's different when you hang out with friends, but in the back of your mind, you're stressing about homework. You're stressing about your exam. You know that you should be doing something else, but you're not. So then you're not actually enjoying your time. So what I did was I actually enjoyed my time. And it made a world of difference. All the way up until I hit college. And college students are always pushed to do more. Take this extra class, be in this club, help your brother, help your sister, do this volunteer activity this weekend. Just this once, I promise I won't ask again. Oh wait, there's another one this next weekend, can you do that too? The list goes on, and I just became horrible at saying no. And if you're like me, it almost hurts to say no, because you feel like you're letting someone down. You feel like you're letting Karen down when you can't go to her potluck at 3 this afternoon because you know that you really need to take a nap since you were up until 2 in the morning studying for an exam you had that day, but you don't want to tell her that because that sounds like an excuse, you know? It seems dumb that you would rather take a nap than go to her potluck. So then you make up an excuse like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't make it, my dog got sick, you know, he's at the vet right now and I need to go take care of him, but you know that he's probably very happily pooping in your backyard back at home. But we shouldn't need to make up those excuses. We should be able to tell Karen, hey, I'm sorry, I need a personal day or I need a moment to just take care of myself. Society shouldn't put this pressure on you to make up an excuse, to make up a valid excuse for why you can't do something. You should be able to take the time you need for yourself or for your friends or for your family. I want you to make the time for yourself. Don't just say that you'll do it later. I have a lot of friends that say, oh, I'll take care of myself later, I'll catch up on sleep this weekend. I do not want you to do that. Instead, I want you to take out your planner and I want you to write it in, and I want you to put glittery stickers all over that personal time. I want you to use colorful highlighters. I want you to do whatever it takes so that you know that time is for you. That time is your personal time. And I want you to remember that. Overcommitting is not a problem of putting your career before yourself. Your career is very important. But your mental health and your physical health is also very important. What's the point in developing your career or focusing on your studies if you're just going to have a stroke at the age of 40? Taken from someone who's already had a life-threatening scare at the age of 14. It's just not worth it. More specifically, I want to let you know that it's perfectly okay to take the time out, even if it's in the middle of the day, for a bubble bath. Because I know I have discovered very recently the joys of bubble baths. And now I take the time, even if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I will sit and I will enjoy my bubble bath. Because I have put that in my planner. I have made the time for it, I put my stickers there, I put the highlighters in there, and I just drew all over it because that is my bubble bath time. Again, overcommitting is the problem of you put your career or your studies before yourself. And we shouldn't feel the need to do that. Instead, I want you to know that it's perfectly okay to say no for your own well-being. So although there is no hack to overcommitting, there is a way to do it to just the right extent by putting your mental well-being and your physical well-being at just the same priority level as everything else in your life. Thank you.